Ayo, little man, what's going on, everyone? Nick here from Little Man YGO, back at it again with another video, and this time we were featured in a TCGPlayer article, which is so fucking awesome. So I wanted to go over the article, share a couple of my thoughts of the description, and kind of take things from there. And obviously, it's good to see you guys. It's been a while since I saw you. But before we jump into the video, we're at 950 subscribers. Thank you so much for all the love and support you've been giving to the channel so far. We're almost at the 1,000 sub mark. So if you've not subbed already, please do so right below. I will wait. Also, we do have a Discord link in the description below. We do host weekly tournaments over there. We're probably not going to be hosting tournaments for the next 2 weeks, given that Nationals is next week. By the way, I'm not going to Nationals, unfortunately, but that's okay. Some of the little men are. So that's why we're not going to be doing it next week, but we host weekly cash tournaments for you guys to enter. Just be sure to join in there, add the role. You'll be able to see everything and also interact with us. My goodness gracious. So today I woke up to a very interesting article that was written on TCGPlayer. It's called Edison Format Deck Guide Amaryllis Burn, which is really cool to see. It's by Tyler Berger at Hamburger Time. So go follow him on Twitter as such. Very, very cool article to read, and yours truly was mentioned into it. So basically what we're going to do is read through it a little bit together. I'm going to give my general thoughts on some of the things that he said in there, and then just kind of take things from there. For starters, he says, starts off with, today's deck's got plants so tough, even I can't keep them alive. We covered a few Edison decks with the plant themes like, hey, shh. We covered a few Edison decks with plant themes like Gigavise and Quick Draw Dandy Warrior, but those aren't really plant decks. The more you use a few key plant monsters on a focus, like Gigaplant or Dandelion, supported by Lone Fire Blossom. Today's a little different. We're bringing to a whole new greenhouse with this one, using all the best of plant cards that are available. It all starts with namesake monster, Plant Burn, but grass is weak against fire. Right, that's the other card game. Anyway, here's a titular Amaryllis, a flower of the nearly immortal. You see the median price there is $75. Crazy, man, crazy. He said that it is a weird card at first read. First off, it can never be special summon except through its own effect or with Phoenixian Seed. Phoenixian is kind of like a Kaibaman for Amaryllis. I'll just get out of the way now. Nobody uses Phoenixian Seed. Got that right. That card sucks. If you don't know what that card is, throw a picture of it right here so you can read it and not waste your time looking it up. So it's hard to special summon this level 8 monster, and it's only 2200 attack with a whopping 0 defense. Its effect must be great, right? Well, when Amaryllis attacks, it destroys itself at the damage calculation. What? Yeah, what? That's what I said when I first read that card. Up to this point, this card sounds like a mess, but it has all upsides from there. If Amaryllis is destroyed on the field by anything, including its own effect, and sent to the graveyard, you'll burn for a... That is where the burn in Amaryllis burn comes from. Your ideal scenario has Amaryllis getting in for direct attacks before self-destruction, dealing a total of 3,000 damage. By the way, my dog keeps barking, so we had to go get him. Say hi, Georgie. Unfortunately, I couldn't name him Raiko, but because we have a missus, that's really why. But she'll be hanging out with us a little bit. Finally, there's Amaryllis. After mastering the effect, the special summon itself. During your end phase, you can banish any plant from your graveyard to special summon this Amaryllis in defense position. It doesn't matter how Amaryllis got in the graveyard for you to do this. With enough plants, you'll have a flower that returns to play every single turn. Broken. Your opponent will want to destroy when it's vulnerable, this says, before it switches to attack and starts dealing 2200. That burns them for 800 and only temporarily solves the problem. Your deck, on the other hand, will be built to fuel Amaryllis with all the best plants and support those plants throughout the duel. Going into this, it might be helped to realize that the name Amaryllis Burn is a bit of a misnomer. This is chiefly an aggressive plant deck with a ton of resilience, with Amaryllis as a large aspect of it. As Amaryllis and your other huge plants are delivering beatings, that burn damage is going to be racking up and close out the duel. It's just one aspect of your plant plan. That's right. I mean, this deck is not a burn deck. It's an aggro deck. It's like saying that if you play 3 Caiuses in your deck, that you're automatically a burn deck because there's it deals 1,000 points of damage, which that could be further from the case. They told me to touch grass, so I built a plant deck. That's what they said to me. Georgie. That's what they said to me, so I built a plant deck. Even decks that are only somewhat plant-based, like Quick Draw, run the best plants. Titania is named Princess of Camellia. Is named incorrectly. This card is a queen. Yes, she is. She's crazy. Titanium dominates the game as soon as it hits the field with a massive 2800 attack. Her effect to negate any targeting is invaluable, letting you tribute a plant to negate and destroy that card. Ideally, you're tributing a dandelion or fluff tokens, but you can even tribute Titanium for its own effect if you need. Since Amaryllis revive itself in the end phase, you'll be able to get some value before it dies. You won't get the 800 if you tribute it. Obviously, yeah. Titanium's incredible, and half her strength comes from Lone-Fire Blossom, bringing her directly into play from the deck. Lone-Fire also finds another Lone-Fire when appropriate. This card even better than normal when paired with Amaryllis because it's putting an extra plant in the graveyard to feed Amaryllis. Yeah, I mean, like, that's why you usually do double Lone-Fire into Titanium, unless you don't have a ton of hidden armories or a ton of cards that cut your normal summon. You normally do want to thin out your deck because putting all these plants in your graveyard is what's going to give you fuel for Amaryllis. And Amaryllis is a hungry flower. Yes, she is. So you need to ensure your deck has enough plants to keep it going. A pair of Lone Fires and one Titanium won't suffice. The other way, Dandelion's one of the best plants ever printed. Yes, it is. Your deck is going to have a lot of ways to get Amaryllis and plant food into the graveyard. And all those same cards are great with Dandelion for free tokens. Those tokens can be used to synchro summon or tribute for Lone Fire or Titanium, or just as defenders. Now, there are a few other plants in the format that you can round out for the plant count. Bot line is surprisingly strong beast, growing with each plant you control. It goes to 1900, 2000 by default. This gets out of hand real quickly when there's more fluff tokens in play. It also prevents changing control, so you don't have to worry about creature swap. I mean, like, we could have mentioned the aforementioned brain control here, or another opposing Mark of the Roses, or anything that takes control, mind control, etc. And he talks about Lord Poison. Lord Poison isn't a strong attacker, but sometimes when it's destroyed by battle sent to the graveyard, you can summon any graveyard, including the Titanium. I haven't played Lord Poison in quite some time. I think that the fertilizers have taken that into account. But so there's plenty of other strong plant monsters in Edison format, but they do tend to require more dedicated deck building prior to use. Tomato needs a lot of similar smaller dark monsters. Gigaplant wants Gemini support. Nettles and Copy Plant are tuners, but this is more focused on pairing it with level 8s. And Rigorous Reaver is a unique way to discard Amaryllis, but it otherwise isn't impressive. So I'm going to place that card on the screen here too. It's a flip effect that if you discard, both players discard a card from your hand. And if it's destroyed by battle, the monster destroyed by battle loses 500 attack and 500 defense. Cool champion pack card, but the card sucks. But here it is. Lone Fire makes it another easy to make plant option. So if you got one, you love it. It probably fits into any deck as long as you're okay with feeding it to Amaryllis. Floral Frenzy. Now there's Mark of the Rose and DDR here. Snatch Steal may be banned in Edison format. And this part of the article is where a lot of good points are made. But it's not banned for use. Mark of the Rose steals an opponent's monster by banishing a plant from the graveyard. Your graveyard's loaded with plants, so you have no trouble paying the cost. Unlike Snatch, Mark of the Rose makes each player share the monster during their own turn. Just be sure to make sure they use it for a tribute or synchro summon first, or just end the duel with a stolen monster. DDR is like the premature burial of that. Is like the premature burial as described here. It helps anything that's banished by Mark and Amaryllis. Plus any of your card opponents is bottomless and trap deprisons it. Helps get those cards back. And these two quick spells are so powerful, you want to go all in Hidden Armory to make the most of them. Letting you use multiple times in a duel, giving up your normal summon is acceptable, with these equip spells put in so much work. That's right. The card is the juice worth the squeeze. And then continuing the banned cards comparison. It's like this deck does play a ton of banned cards, really. Here is your Monster Reborn. Honestly, Miracle Fertilizing is even better in some cases. The continuous spell lets you revive any plant from your graveyard once per turn. When it sticks around, you get way more value from Miracle Fertilizer than Monster Reborn would ever do. Of course, repeatable special summons would come with a catch. You can't normal summon or set during the turn that you use it, so make sure it's a revived high value monster. Quick correction here. You cannot normal summon or set the turn that you summon up special summon a monster from the graveyard with its effect. It has to touch the field in order to turn that clause off. It's not when you activate the effect. So very, very important to keep that in mind. Of course, Now, Hidden Armory is also cutting your normal summon, so you can wait and use both those cards at the same card to mitigate the downside. Yeah, you can. The second drawback is to Miracle Fertilizer would be destroyed. If any monsters you special summon will leave the field. Now, read that again, because it's a different card from Premature Burial that you use it. If one of the monsters leave the field, Miracle Fertilizer leaves. If Miracle Fertilizer leaves, nothing happens. Your opponent could destroy this card to prevent you from getting more monsters, but you won't lose anything that you already summoned off it. That was like one of the key reasons why Adam and I and Sam, when we brought the deck together, played this card, was people read the hell out of that card, and you just got to take advantage of people not reading Yu-Gi-Oh cards. Final major plan for this deck is plan support is Black Rose Dragon. I mean, he also dives into mentioning the Breed Dragon and the secondary effect. Secondary effect very powerful for setting up the DDR play, as well as turning monsters from attack to defense to attacked. And then you're able to remove a third of your life points with that. Cool. Mulch for the garden. To fuel Amaryllis, you need to fill the graveyard. There's two ways to discard from the hand and send directly from the deck. So even though your deck is focused on some big plants, you don't really want to draw them often. Trade-in puts Amaryllis and Titanium in the graveyard, makes them more useful. Replace them with two fresh. To do this on the large scale, you also use Morphing Jar. We talked about DDR before, which will put a plant in the graveyard while retrieving a banished plant. Obviously, bonus value. That's the best feeling. There's a variety of removal effects. Venus Wing Boss is great for controlling the field, messing up the opponent's next draw. Karma Cut only hits monsters but has some great control. Raigeki Break might be the worst due to the existence of Starvus Dragon. Correct statement there. Raigeki Break sucks ass. Stop playing Raigeki Break. It's crazy that the super rare is worth so much money. It does permanently deal with monsters and problems, unlike Wing Blast. The only trap's not only to discard Amaryllis, they help defend while to keep the weaker defense position monsters. And then he goes into some of the like the millers here. So while generally less with discard effects, you could throw them in the graveyard using Lightsworn. Lyle and Raiko are the generically useful, with effects that are pretty much always relevant throughout the duel. A handful of these plus charge the Light Brigade, and you'll be able to put plenty of cards in the graveyard before you know it. In the process, you can even wear them down. You can supplement Lightsworn cards with Foolish Burial and Card Trooper, the honorary Lightsworn as well. With all this self-mill and discard, the many Amaryllis decks include some additional value. Plague Spreader, by the way, people have been cutting this card, and please do not. The card is insane. Gives your deck a tuner that you can use up to twice. Plague Spreader's effect, put a card on top of the deck, but also pairs well with Lightsworns and Hidden Armory. And you can also get the zombie back with DDR if you like. Exactly why you should play that card. Now, here's my favorite part. Proficiency in plants. Amaryllis with Burn has put up a ton of results at major Edison events. Recently at YCS Raleigh, Nick Trud, and that's me, and his teammate Adam, last name unknown, took the strategy to a 9th and 2nd place finishes respectively. Congrats to Adam for getting second on that once again. You can check the profiles here. I'll have the link for that video down in the description so you guys could go over more of the strategy there. They both use the following list with the minor side deck change. The side deck used here, I believe that they listed the double Cyber Dragon, which is Adam's list, and I played one Cyber Dragon, one bottom list for my list. The deck has all the planets you expect and a ton of ways to fill the graveyard and take advantage. The Personal Spice is a favorite of mine. Scrap Iron Scarecrow. Yes. It gives a repeatable defense with a ton of when protecting your revived defense position Amaryllis. This will force your opponent to fit more monsters in the field if they want to destroy your flowers, which you can then punish with mass removal like Torrential, by sealing with one of the Mark of the Roses, or by punching their attack position monsters with Titanium. The other thing that I'd like to add into here too is the Breed Dragon getting a higher value. And the other thing worth adding too is that they have to use their back row removals on specifically Scrap Iron instead of your like Miracle Fertilizers or Equip spells. So that's an important thing to mention there too. The whole thing is a bit of a bait anyway. You usually don't care if they destroy Amaryllis. They get the 800 burn arrows will coming back again. These duels are true masters of the plant strategy, planning for every scenario. Check out a copy of Blackwing Gale, the Whirlwind in the Sally deck. In the Blackwing Mentor with Mark of the Rose and 3 Hidden Armor, you can easily steal a Blackwing, the special summon a Gale to make Armor Master. You can even steal Blackwing Shura, the Blue Flame, the special summon Gale out of the deck. This is a super sweet side deck tag that takes full advantage of the deck's unique ability to resolve multiple Mark of the Rose multiple times per turn. Per duel. My goodness. If you love a deck with tons of graveyard value based on weird monster type, you got it right here with Amaryllis Burn. Begin sowing the seeds of destruction today. What a great ending there. Thank you, Tyler Berger, for that awesome coverage there. I mean, The article goes into like very good depth as to like what the core, how the deck core works. You know, like I really like how he even added some of the other plant monsters. I tried all those other ones like Rever and like obviously Lord Poison, Mystic Tomato. I mean, those are like and then obviously Graveros is another honorable mention here as well. But yeah, it was very cool that I woke up to this morning and was able to like read this article, because whenever I see an Amaryllis article, you bet your ass, it's like the Batman symbol today. I just click right onto it and just go through it, and lo and behold, the Team Little Man was mentioned today. So let me know read that article in the description for yourself. Thank you, Tyler Berger, for the coverage. Please like, comment, and subscribe for more Amaryllis videos, Edison videos, tournament coverage, all that fun stuff. And I'll see your beautiful faces later on. Peace. Have a great day. Stay safe, y'all.